Alright fellas, so I got the Muncie bellhousing yesterday. This thing is pretty damn nice. Hope they're not too close where you guys can actually see. See this? And the adapter plate that will let us mate the T5 transmission to the Muncie bell housing and the Muncie bell housing to the 350. But yeah, before we do anything else, we have to remove these 4 bolts. So we can remove this front bearing retainer and install this one in its place. This one is compatible with the adapter plate. Okay, in order to remove the retainer, hopefully you can see this little groove right here. There she goes. Now we can work on installing the new one. And hopefully this will be in frame. Install the bushing. Like so. We insert the this ring into the new bearing retainer. I'm gonna insert the ring first, and the bearing, there is a thicker side with writing on it. We want that facing in, and the thinner side facing the outside. Just slides that way. Install the bearing retainer. Oh, my bad. We got one thing. Okay, almost forgot. Want to use brake parts cleaner to clean out the old gasket or RTV and apply the new batch.
Okay, got pretty much all of it out of the old gasket. I'm not going to spray.
Okay, again, so you'll see the same grooves here and here. Small groove on this side, big groove on this side. And the way we know that the smaller groove faces up, or rather in this orientation, which is also a helpful hint, is this one was already marked, and we're going to use that as our marker. But once you insert this in, the holes will line up perfectly with the bolt holes on the transmission. So that's what we want to do with the new one. Have the small groove facing up. And we'll want to use the stock bolts that hold a bearing retainer in its spot. And you also don't want to forget the thread locker as well. Alright, so while the RTV is doing its thing, we're going to mate the adapter plate with the Muncie transmission. We insert the adapter plate into its spot. All I have to do with one hand and get this thing to come out even. Okay, but again, we want to get these bolts on here first before we do anything else.
Okay, those are on.
Let's see. Okay, and these Allen bolts.
Can I get top? Let's see what else we got.
Okay, so these are on there snug. Okay, took a little bit of doing, but I did figure how to mount the bell housing, an adapter plate to the transmission. The top bolts are those thicker Allen bolts, and the bottom ones are the standard bolts. So I'll get the lock washer in there. And this nut. Let's do the same thing for the other side. Stuck there. Alright, now in order to properly tighten these, let me put my phone on the tripod real quick. Okay, hopefully you guys can see. We will have to use this Allen tool, slider in there so that the Allen bolt doesn't move. It's going to be a little tedious, but I'm going to stick that in there again so it doesn't move, and tighten the bolt with the wrench. Hopefully you guys can see that and can make that out. That's a little kind of time consuming. Again, I'm not going to torque them down to specs or anything like that, because we are just test fitting them. But this is essentially how we would make the Muncie bell housing to the adapter plate, and the adapter plate to the transmission. Now I'm going to unbolt this and then bolt the bell housing to the 350 real quick. Okay, hopefully that'll stay in frame. Okay, again, it's not on there, fully tight. It's just snug. Now let's see if we can get the transmission on there from this end. I'll be right back. Okay, fellas. This is what she could potentially look like. The only issues we're having is the pilot bearing. It's too, the inner diameter is too small for the tip of the input shaft. So I'll likely have to have this enlarged. It's not much, it's just a couple of millimeters, but it's enough that it won't slide into the input shaft of the transmission. But yeah, this is what she would look like, all put together. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys this little update. Just was really glad that all this stuff made it together. I was a little concerned at first when I got the Muncie bell housing. Again, these are things I've never messed with before, so I didn't know what to expect. I certainly didn't expect the adapter plate to be as small as it was, but you know, it's actually a good thing that it is the size that it is because it's very compact. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna fit pretty good. I just got to figure out some other little details. And again, you know, hope you guys are digging this look as much as I am. And I'll see you.